Hey, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to a brand new episode of Last Stop Waterfowl Outdoors. Guys, glad to be back with you again this week, and thank you so much for taking time to tune in with us this week. But this week, I'm really excited, guys. We are on location this week. We are down here in Prairieville, Louisiana, and we have a couple of guests on the show that we hope you guys enjoy spending some time with. I'm glad to have them on. They're some friends of mine that I've known for quite a while, and I'm looking forward to hearing their story and also getting their story out to other outdoorsmen just like me. So guys, without further ado, I'd like to hop right into it. I want to welcome Taylor and Grant from Riot Outdoors. Guys, welcome to the show. Welcome to Last Stop Waterfowl Outdoors podcast.
Happy to be here.
Yeah.
Good, man. Good.
Yeah.
Well, we've gone back quite a while now. We've known each other for many years now, and I'm much older than these guys are right here, guys. But I feel like we have a lot of stuff that we share in common.
Oh,
And our love for the outdoors is the main thing, and we're going to touch on that a little bit this week. So first of all, thank y'all so much for being on the show. Glad to have y'all. I know we talked about this for a while. We had talked about getting together, but kind of fill everybody in who may not be familiar with Riot Outdoors. What is Riot Outdoors about? Kind of how did it come about? And let's talk a little bit about it.
Yeah, man. We should have started it years ago, but basically, I mean, we've always kind of been the ones that post videos, pictures, all that on social media. And I know Grant for sure. Like Grant's always had thousands of followers on Instagram and stuff like that. Just everyday videos and pictures of us going fishing.
Just posting normal fishing trips, just bragging about our catches, and
we just outdoorsmen being outdoorsmen.
Yeah, exactly.
Just wanting to share it with the world.
You know, and that's a good point that you make, because when I was coming up at y'all age, and especially years ago when I first met y'all, I look at y'all were like some younger guys than I was, obviously. But when I was coming up, we didn't have the social media, we didn't have Facebook, we didn't have Instagram, none of that type of stuff. So, when y'all are coming up at that age, you had all that type of social media to be able to go out and, track trips that you went on, whether it was a fishing trip, a hunting trip, that type of stuff. And what I love about it, my wife always laughs. She says, you got to take a camera with you everywhere you go. Or you got to record something every time you go. And I told her, I said, one of my favorite things is when you get those memories pop up, like on Facebook or IG, any of that type of stuff, and you kind of see the transition in your experiences in the outdoors through the years.
Yeah,
I think that's cool.
Just through the recaps, like on Facebook and stuff, it's so funny. Or like especially like my Snapchat.
Yeah,
it'll just pop up memories. I'm like, dang, I don't remember that fishing trip.
Correct.
From 7 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, within our life, I mean, we were there right when YouTube started, and everything started popping off, and so I've always kind of drifted towards the side of wanting to YouTube, it's just about sharing, what we love to do with everybody out there.
Yeah, and it's almost like you kind of get the enjoyment of like not only entertaining people, but being able to maybe teach someone, right?
Correct.
So, and I'm sure you can agree with that.
I do. I agree with that 100%. We get people all the time, and you guys, y'all do some really good work, guys. And we'll touch on that, kind of where people can find you if they're not familiar with y'all already. But y'all do some really good work. And I was just complimenting y'all. I said the videos that y'all are putting out right now, top notch, excellent. I know you guys, I could tell just talking to y'all when we were talking about editing and stuff like that, how passionate you are to go out. You said you had got some new software that y'all fired up to kind of go out and explore some opportunities with. But you got to have that passion, because being a digital creator like you guys are, like we are, and many of our friends that we talk to, it's a full-time job, really. And most of us, it's not really a full-time job. But it takes, if you're going to do it right and do good content, it's almost like a full-time job.
Oh, yeah. I mean, any given Wednesday, it became a tradition to edit videos on Wednesday nights.
There you go.
And I can tell you now, me and him will spend 4 or 5 hours in here after working all day.
Yeah.
Just to edit one video, maybe.
Yeah.
That's if we get it finished.
And we could spend that much time on that one video and then still have half the video to go.
Finish, yeah.
And I've kind of fallen in love with the photography end of it, the videography, and I grew up fishing. I love fishing. I love hunting, but it's just kind of drifting towards getting into that world of editing things and sharing it with everybody, and just the transitions and everything, it's so intriguing to me, and it's super fun to learn.
Yeah.
Yeah, not only that, it was satisfying.
It is.
Like when you sit back and like, man, I spent 8 hours on this.
Yeah, and that's kind of your baby.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh,
that
absolutely.
each video is kind of your baby.
Yeah.
Each podcast that you do is kind of your baby. That's the way I look at it.
Mm-hmm.
And I find myself when I release a new podcast, I'm checking the analytics on it. I'm looking to see, hey, are we increasing listenership? Or we, videos? I started with the podcast first, me personally. That's kind of what I started doing out first when we started Last Stop. And I really wish I'd have kind of did more video in the beginning, but I'm coming late to that game. But you guys, you have some great video out there right now, and that passion for the outdoors is obviously showing. It's showing big time with y'all right now.
Thank you.
So Ride Outdoors, I mean, I'm assuming that started out of that passion for the outdoors, right?
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
How'd the name come about? Ride Outdoors. Tell us about it.
We sat there and tried to figure out names, but I am blessed with the last name Terrio, which if you spell it out, it's THERIOT. The Riot.
Yeah, there you
So
go.
we just took Riot, slapped Outdoors on the end of it, and ran with it.
That's pretty cool.
If you want to take it back even further, back in the day,
Oh, Lord.
we used to be Fish or Die.
I remember that.
And what's crazy is, man, if we would have ran with that and gotten it trademarked, I mean, now it's a TV
whole
show. I mean, they have the
There's
entire
everything.
bait company, Fish or Die bait company.
Yep.
It was us, 5 guys?
Yeah, it was like 5. It was back in, I'm talking about,
That's back in high school.
2009, 10,
Yeah.
maybe, something like that. But yeah, Ride Outdoors, I guess it just came easy. I was like, bro, I said, your last name, everybody outside of Louisiana, it's funny. You'll hear him pronounce Terrio as the Riot.
Yeah.
The Riot.
The Riot,
Terrio.
that's how they say it.
A lot of people see it and read it and just be
Really?
like, the Riot.
But I mean, it
never
also,
known that.
it makes sense, right?
Yeah.
You go have fun, you're having a riot.
Yeah, having a
right?
ride.
So,
That's right. That's awesome. Now, I mean, I would have never thought that until you explained that just now. But it makes
just
perfect
clicked.
sense.
I mean, we just sat there and we were talking about it, and we've always been saying, oh, look, we need a video. We do all of these trips, and then we'll sit there in the living room after work or something, and we'll watch hours of YouTube videos on fishing and hunting and everything outdoors. Well, we do the same thing. We can enjoy and entertain people just as much, I would think.
That's right.
You know,
I mean, the influence, when you look at things nowadays, YouTube is now the second largest search platform in the world, second only to Google.
Yeah.
So a lot of people, that's what they watch.
Yeah.
They don't watch TV.
No, and I'm like that too. I come from the old generation of cable TV and satellite TV and all that. But I find myself now, just because of my passion in outdoors, that's what I watch, YouTube. I don't even have a cable subscription.
Yeah, you don't need it.
I don't need it because I used to have to wake up and watch the Outdoor Channel for a certain show at a certain time. That's exactly right.
Now
you had to wake up, catch Bill Dance on a Sunday morning at 9 o'clock.
Roland Martin was always right after.
That's right. All the old greats. Now with the technology we got with YouTube and all that, we can pull that up whenever the hell we want now.
Yeah.
You know,
It could be 3 o'clock in the morning.
That's it.
But I think
it's there.
You really talk about influence. That's where it comes from. Like you ask why we wanted to start it.
Yeah.
Because we watch it all the time. We see guys and we're like, man, if we could go hang out with those guys, they're the same as us. They act the same and like the same stuff. And we're like, we've been doing the pictures and little videos for forever. So we finally just decided, let's do it. Let's start a YouTube channel.
Let's grow this thing.
Yeah. And it's fun, man.
And I mean,
it's a
we've
blast.
dove head first into this. I mean,
you sure have, because you guys grew very quickly.
Within a year, we had a big camera. We have 4 GoPros.
Yeah, the drone.
I've got multiple lenses, mics, everything, editing software and all that. It's just, but it's like you get into it and you enjoy it and you just want to grow that passion.
Correct.
And you get all those tools to help you be one step better at what you're doing to, eventually help somebody else out and do somebody something or just entertain.
Yeah.
Correct.
I mean, it's like, if your wife asks you, you got enough fishing rods?
Yeah. Never.
No, never. Same thing with us. That's how we are. We're like, man, they got this new camera out on the market.
Yeah.
I want it.
We're looking for the next microphone.
So I'm telling you, man, the passion kind of shifts. Like you still have, you still want the fishing and the hunting, but like now for both of us, it's like, I can't wait to make another video. Let's sit down. Let's edit.
Yeah,
the creative side comes in.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
We would sit there and try to make a video, but we'd go fishing and we'd get so hard stuck on fishing that we're like, oh, well, we didn't film any of it.
Yes.
And we're like, we have 2 clips of going, hey guys, good morning, and then that's it.
Correct. And I
So-
still find myself doing that.
Oh no, we
sometimes.
struggle with it.
It's
a lot.
I get
It's-
into it so much, you know.
Yeah.
And I tell Jackson, my son, he's in a lot of the videos and a lot of the podcasts with us. I tell him, I say that's why people got cameramen. That's why they got
Absolutely.
That's why they got editors that go in the field with them. And
It's
stuff
so
like
hard to
It's so
focus
hard.
on one or the other.
It's hard to
You
be
know?
the star of the show
Yep.
and the editor of the show, the director of the show, all that type of stuff.
It's a lot.
It is. It's a battle, and people think you get a lot. Do you guys? Let me ask you that. Do y'all get a lot of hate online from like hate comments or people trying to talk shit?
There's
That type of
one
stuff?
video out there.
I've got.
There is actually a couple videos
Yeah.
out there.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk
that-
about that.
It's more of like people that don't understand what's going on in the video or taking something way too serious when it's just us having fun and trying to enjoy it and putting it out there for somebody else to enjoy it.
Now, are you talking about possibly non-outdoorsmen? Is what you mean?
Yes,
by
Probably.
that?
I think so.
Probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the misunderstanding from what we're doing is from kind of that people that maybe just fish in a pond or something.
Yeah.
Or just,
Yeah.
they don't have as much knowledge on fishing, like
As
we
you do or experiences
Yeah.
like y'all do. Yeah.
But
Correct.
yeah, no. The one way I look at it, if you don't have hate comments, man, you're not successful.
That's a
You're
good
not
point.
doing. You're not doing
That's
it
a
right.
good point.
You're
No,
not getting views because you're gonna have them.
Yeah.
It doesn't
Yeah.
matter what you're in. It doesn't matter what type of videos you put out. I mean, you're always gonna have them.
you can't make everybody happy.
No.
And that old saying comes into play, no publicity is bad publicity.
Yeah.
Whether
Oh.
or not it's good or bad, you still getting people watching the content. You're getting people talking about the outdoors and whatever you're interested in, because people are coming to your channel, because they have an interest in what you're doing probably, or they're interested in the conversation that's going on about what you're doing.
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
know?
and that's what's crazy, and I think that's what a lot of people that come on and talk all that is they don't understand that all they're doing to us, they're not hurting our feelings, they're helping us.
They are.
Because every comment is one more push. That one more push
That's
for
it.
YouTube, TikTok, Instagram to notice that people are talking about this. They
Yeah.
don't care what about it.
Yep.
And it's gonna push it. It's gonna push it even
That's
more.
right. They
And
want to
we have-
join the party. At that
We have
point.
noticed that we've had a couple of videos recently that have hit 100,000. Like we had a video, 2 or 3 videos that
Over a million
over 1 million.
views. So
Yeah.
But in a lot of it it'll die down for a little bit,
Yeah.
and then a couple people come in,
pick back up.
and
commenting and
boom,
stuff. Yeah.
and
And
it
the algorithm
jumps
just
off
pushes
again.
it again.
And you'll see that, and you look at
And that's
like you
what-
said,
that's what's
the
funny.
analytics.
You ask about hate comments on,
Yeah.
on any type of social media, just kill them with kindness. That's what I do every time.
Oh, it's
They can
great.
dog you in the comments and call you a piece of shit, and you're like, "Hey man, thanks for commenting.
Yeah.
I appreciate
Thanks
the
for
comment."
that. Hope
Yeah.
you have a
I
good
do the
day.
same thing.
It's great.
I'll put an emoji smiling back
Yeah.
at him. Thanks for the comment.
Yeah,
you know?
And it's
Exactly.
crazy because a lot of people, I think that's what drives a lot of people out of social media and content creation, is they get into it and they love it so much, and then you have some jackwagon come along and just bash you from end to end.
Yeah.
And they get scared of that, and they don't like that, and they get disappointed in it, and they just quit.
Yeah.
But you just got to look at it as it's not affecting me in any way possible.
Yeah.
And you're just like, hey, thanks, man. Hope you have a great day.
That's
and
right.
it brings me joy being able to take those hate comments and just
Yeah.
give them some kind of kindness. And
You
it's
can't
just
take
hilarious.
it personal.
No, you
right?
can't.
I mean, if you
No.
go and you made a good point there, Grant, because a lot of people I think that get into it. We talked about that passion when you creating that video or you creating that podcast or whatever it is, and they put so much time and effort into it that when they see those hate comments coming from somebody, it really destroys them. Some people,
Yeah.
and that's the ones that I find don't hang around, like you said.
Yeah.
That's a great point you made. You got to have kind of a roll off your back type attitude. If you're going to be in this market, and this type of
Yeah.
space, you definitely have to be able to roll with the punches, look at things from a lighter side, and just go with the flow on it.
I mean, they can talk all the shit they want as long as you enjoy doing it.
That's
Oh,
it.
I ain't- Yeah, you just
What's-
can't
what's
worry
it
about
matter?
it. You
That's
can't.
it.
Yeah.
Because to every one hate comment you get 5 good ones.
Oh hell yeah!
You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's way more good out there than bad.
Absolutely.
And if you're making good content, you're gonna see that definitely.
Yes.
You're gonna see the difference there.
Absolutely.
Whenever I first started, I'd have people comment. They say, "Man, this guy thinks he's a fucking expert on duck hunting. Blah blah blah, this and that." And really, I had a guy ask me on a podcast I did recently. He said, "How did you start and get into it? Why did you start doing it?" And with me, it was my son. It was my 2 boys actually. And I said, I kind of mentioned this to y'all a while ago. I said, I want to be able to have something to document their growth coming up in the outdoors. I want to document also as a scouting tool for hunting.
Mm-hmm.
For us, it was because hey, I could go back and look in 2017 and see what kind of year we had waterfowl hunting in Louisiana.
Yeah.
And then I could go back, a year or two later and say, okay, well, we had low water conditions in this video.
Yep.
Now it's completely different. We actually use it as a scouting tool.
It definitely works, absolutely.
And it's documented right there for everybody to see, but also us as well.
It's great. I mean, that's kind of what we feel the same way about our videos.
Yeah.
Like, so what if we fail?
Yeah.
We got great videos to look back on 20 years from now.
Exactly.
He'll be 60 sitting on the couch watching our old YouTube videos.
That's it.
It doesn't matter if we go anywhere with them or not. We could never break 500 subscribers on anything. I could have 2.
Yeah.
But if I'm having fun and making those memories and being able to go back, like show my kids, oh, look what we did when we were your age.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
It's a fun thing to do.
That's exactly. I really look forward to, like, I'm 44 now, so I'm middle aged now, And I look back. I've been doing this since I was 8 years old. My dad probably dragging me through the woods and into the marshes and all that type of stuff. My goal, I want to be 60 doing it. I want to look at myself when I'm 60 and be able to go pull up YouTube and see these videos and listen to these podcasts. And some of these people that I've had on the podcast, they're older. My dad joined me on a podcast.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? They're not always going to be around.
Exactly.
Later down the road, I'll be able to go back and that's out of all my podcasts I've ever done, that's my favorite podcast.
Yeah,
the one I did with my dad.
Of course.
And he told some pretty fucking funny stories because they did some outlawing shit.
Back in the day?
Oh my God! I mean, it was just a different time, And I literally listened to it to warm up for us getting together this week. I call it a warm up exercise.
Yeah.
I listen, I go back, I critique my own stuff, and just to kind of enjoy that episode because it brings me back to where I came from.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's a big part of it for me. But and that touches on another point I want to ask you guys. Like when y'all were talking about getting into a podcast, possibly that's something we're going to kind of hint at for everybody listening out there. You guys, not to put you on the spot, but y'all may be starting up a podcast of your own. But with video content, do you guys go back and once your videos are finished and everything's done, it's out there for the public to see? How often do you go back and watch your own content?
Often.
Yeah.
Like you said,
Why
you said, right? So you said like a warm-up exercise.
Yeah.
So it's kind of the same, like you warm up for your podcast. Well, it's kind of the same thing when we look back on our videos. Is like, what can we do on the next one to, like, we'll notice one little
minimal improvements.
Yeah,
exactly.
How can we improve?
As long as you improve on one thing each video or each, you do a different transition a little bit better. You bring in the music up and fade it out a little bit better. You do some slow-mo. I mean, you can look back at our first video we ever posted to now, and I think it's a complete world of difference between the slow-mo, the transition.
I think we all like that.
Yeah.
We all in the same boat when it comes to that. You see the transition, and when you want it as bad as y'all want it, like you mentioned, you see that improvement over time, and you look back and you say, well, some of the first ones wasn't as good.
But that's some of the best ones.
They are because you're amateur, and really we all amateurs. That's what is great about YouTube,
Yep.
So, but yeah, I agree 100% with what y'all saying. But the reason I ask you that is my wife always picks on me. She says you listen to your own podcast, you go back and you watch your own damn videos. She's like, that's so stupid.
I'm my own biggest fan, I swear.
Me too, and I'm with you, Grant, on that.
You're your own biggest critic too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, correct.
You're going to criticize yourself more than you will anyone else.
That's right. It goes both ways.
That's why I like the relationship me and Taylor have. We've known each other for
years.
10, 15 years.
Yeah. Well, let's get into that a little bit. So let's take it back. Go ahead. I don't want to cut you off.
No, you good.
Make your point there. Let's kind of talk about it. Obviously, you guys are I'd say best friends, probably, right?
Yeah.
As long as I've known y'all been extremely tight. Yeah. And that's how we'll talk about that a little bit later on. How I got to know y'all. We all worked together at one point. But how your love for the outdoors? Let's kind of take it back to the beginning as children. Was it as a child? What got you interested in the outdoors? Was it a family member that got y'all interested?
The way that I like to explain it, and I tell this story to everyone, I didn't have a choice. And not saying that in a bad way. My grandpa, once he quit working in the plants, he ran trot lines, caught catfish.
Okay.
That's what he did. He bought a camp on the Chickapin Canal.
Grew up here in Louisiana.
Yeah, from Louisiana,
Yeah.
and he bought a camp on the Chickapin Canal, and he started running trot lines. He did that till the day he died.
Wow.
And, you know, me growing up, that was it. He'd come pick me up from school. We'd go to the camp. I'd ride with him. We'd run the trot lines, come back. He'd clean every catfish, whether it was 2 catfish or 200.
Really?
So, and not only that, but Pawpaw had 6 sons and 2 daughters. My mom and my aunt. And I
had a lot of
6
mouths to feed.
And every one of them fished and hunted.
Really?
Yep, all of them.
They all had a passion for
My
it.
mom loved it. The only one that really didn't was my Aunt Beth.
Really?
But even my mom, she'd go fishing all the time. With
So
Pawpaw.
they actually enjoyed it, or was it kind of have to go?
Oh, no.
type deal?
Pawpaw was the one that worked.
Yeah.
But everyone else used the camp as the camp.
Really?
We had our own little boat launch, now homemade.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's how I grew up. I'm talking about from shitting in diapers. You know, there's pictures of me on the camp pier,
Yeah.
fishing with an old school bamboo rod at my pawpaw made.
Old school.
You know.
You were just around.
Yeah. And that's just how. I mean, that's why I say it's not a bad thing. I didn't have a choice. It's just that's all I knew.
Yeah.
Because everyone did it.
Yeah. That's
So,
how I was too.
If I fell right into it, and then I got obsessed.
Really? Yeah.
Overly obsessed.
Yeah.
What about you, Grant? How'd you get? What's
Pretty
your
much.
first experiences?
Pretty much the same way. I've been fishing since, like he said, like it's been fishing since I was in diapers. My papa always had a boat. My dad's always fished. All of my family is from Houma, Ontario, down the bayou. Everybody's been shrimpers, and you know we got alligator hunters in the family.
You don't have the accent though.
You
don't have the down the bayou accent.
Let me go down there for a day or two.
It changes.
And I will come back, and you'll be like, "What did you say?"
Yeah.
I can't understand you.
Yeah.
If I'm around everybody down there and they got that accent,
pick up on the dialect.
It'll just click for some reason.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I mean, we've fished down in like Ontario, Lake DeCad, People's Canal, all those, all the time. Papa had a boat. We used to go to Grand Isle for weekends and weeks at a time in the summer, and I mean it's just what we did. I was never big on the hunting side of things when I was younger.
Yeah.
I got into that later on, but like fishing was die hard, and I think that's why I'm so obsessed with it because that's all we did.
That's it.
Yeah.
You know, we either went on vacation to the beach and I brought a fishing pole,
Yeah.
or we went down to Grand Isle for the summer and I was fishing. We went to Tennessee or Missouri. Every trip that I've been on, I'm bringing a fishing pole. I'm gonna go fishing. I mean, that's just how we were raised.
Yeah.
I mean,
So it sounds like with both of y'all, family. It was family that got you involved.
100%.
It's kind of how you were raised. How important is that for a kid, especially in today's modern world right now that we live in? Okay, so let's be honest. Gaming's the big thing for kids. You know, my 9-year-old man, he'd rather sometimes stay home than come fishing, come hunting with us. You know.
Oh yeah.
That's just what he knows.
And
that's
see,
what he
yeah,
was. So how important is that now?
Man, I wish it'd be the same. I mean, I think, you know, now, and I'm 29, and you know, even looking at the kids like your son's age nowadays, you know, they're so obsessed with technology and everything else.
Yeah.
But you know, to have a father like you, right?
Well,
you can expose them more than someone else would.
And that's why I think it's super important to have an adult that did it, because if the adult, the parent wasn't exposed to it, then how do you expect them to get exposed to it?
Because nowadays no one does it.
That's it.
I mean, we grew up high school. We exposed people that didn't fish or didn't hunt.
Yeah.
You know, hey, dude, you like to fish? Well, no, I've never been. Well, come on.
Yeah.
I've been purchased
You don't really see that.
like that, and we're like, well, come get on the boat. I mean, I've had a bass boat since I was 16.
Yeah.
When my dad bought a boat and then got a driver's license, and he was like, all right, I don't have to take you no more. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Correct.
it'd be, hey man, what you doing this weekend? Oh well, I'm busy. I'm like, all right, next person. Hey man, what you doing this weekend? Oh, well, I've never been, bass fishing like that. I'm like, come on, get on the boat. We're gonna go.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be honest with you. That's one thing that really impresses me with y'all too, and that's a compliment from the bottom of my heart. I'm gonna be honest with you, because as long as I've known y'all have always been very inclusive of other people coming with you on trips.
Yeah.
Whether it's a fishing trip, a hunting trip, y'all like to have a crowd with you. Let me not say a crowd, but you have friends with you. You open to people coming with you.
It makes it so much more fun.
It does. It does. And the reason I'm so impressed with that is because society is not like that a ton with outdoorsmen nowadays.
Yeah.
A lot of people hold it close to the vest,
Yeah.
with that. What y'all thoughts kind of on that? I mean, obviously, y'all have a different road that you take on that, different path. You kind of like a crowd, you like people with you. But when you see other outdoorsmen that are real close to the vest, like with, maybe lying to somebody about what they doing or where they at or where they going, what's your thoughts on that? Just in general.
I can't stand people that are like that. Because to me, I tell people, people know I fish all the time or I hunt all the time. Well, what'd you kill this weekend? What'd you catch this weekend? Nothing. I zeroed out.
Yeah.
Well, people always, I guess people that don't understand it, to me it's like, I had a blast.
Yeah.
I was with my friends. We just made another memory.
Correct.
So I think the people that are so hush-hush and they don't want to hunt with people, they don't want to show, I don't care. Like, if you want to go hunting, fishing, I'll take you wherever you want.
Yeah.
It's about the memories for me. and whether you're catching a fish or shooting a duck, I think a lot of it just, you've been in the blind with 5 or 6 people hunting.
Yeah.
How much fun do you have with those people?
It's always more fun.
No matter how many ducks you kill,
It
no
gets
matter
boring,
how many
like,
fish you catch.
I love fishing to death, but fishing alone, it's nice. You get to fish. You're just out there enjoying it by yourself. But just having somebody, there's been times that just me and him go in the marsh and we're struggling and we're like, man, if a game warden or somebody was around the corner, they wouldn't understand what's going on because we're hooping and hollering and cutting up,
keeping it fun.
We're not catching fish.
Yeah.
We're just sitting there bullshitting.
Trash talking each other.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes, 100%.
I see that in some of the videos. Y'all trash talking each other. And
it's all good. Fun.
It's all fun.
I don't see. It goes back to your point. I don't see how people don't do that.
And it's the way I look at it is, you have a passion for something. You have all of this knowledge that you've gained over the years or months or whatever, however long you've been doing it. Why not share that and let somebody else maybe grow that same passion or get somebody into it? Or, oh man, I always go fishing but I don't catch much. Why not, allow them to learn something from you and step them up?
Yeah.
And it doesn't make sense for people to, they're so hush and, I caught her on this, and
it is, and I think fishing and the hunt side, there is some differences there.
Yeah.
I would say that probably because it seems like people are a little bit more lenient on the fishing side.
Oh
of
yeah,
it,
oh absolutely.
With sharing information, giving spots, or taking somebody.
No, I agree.
But then you turn to hunt season, and it's okay. Now we're assuming public land. Okay, we're talking public land.
Yeah, obviously, yeah.
Because
definitely.
we're all 3 public land hunters. We don't have leases right now, none of that type of stuff. So with a lease, you don't have to worry about it. You get into a lease, you pay for your lease,
and you're good.
ain't nobody gonna touch your shit.
You can tell everybody where you hunt.
That's right. You can tell them where you at. No problem. But when we talking public land on the hunting side of things, it gets a little tougher out there. Wouldn't y'all agree with that?
You have to grind more for public land to get on the X and be in the right spot at the right time. You have to grind a lot harder.
But also, I think that has a lot to do with why people are so hush-hush.
Well, that's what my point I'm trying to get to.
Yeah.
Is it because it's so tough nowadays to find that spot? You know what aggravates me? Look, it aggravates everybody. It pisses you off. You get a lot of internet scouters.
Yeah.
People that are hitting people up. Where'd you kill them at? Or are they trying? Trust me, the more y'all gonna start doing more hunting videos, and you have successful hunting videos, you're gonna have people trying to hit you up with messages, DMs, all that type of stuff, trying to figure out where you are. And they don't want to come out and ask you, but you know what they're getting.
Yeah.
They're
hitting around the question.
So you do see that. And what does piss me off is I kind of research them back whenever they hit me up, to see kind of what they do.
Yeah.
And if it's somebody that I see that's not scouting before the season, or they just trying to look for information, quick information, so they could go run and take a spot, then I'm not going to share a ton of information with somebody like that, because we put in hours of scouting and work. That's right.
Yeah.
So I can understand that side of it, but that whole mentality of it's public land and I can't take nobody here because they got. Man, honestly, is there really any secret spots?
Not really.
No, it's all public.
No.
If we think it's,
I can walk up to the same spot you walk up to.
That's
at
exactly
any
right.
point in time.
That's exactly right. And my point there is that what we think may not be hit real hard by somebody else, there's somebody else. They're hitting it just as hard as we are.
Well, it goes
somebody
back,
is.
It goes back to what you said earlier. We grew up in the age of social media.
Yeah.
You can't hide public land spots.
Not if you're putting it on social media.
Because guess what?
You wanna
Somebody
share those
else that
pictures?
hunted there is telling everybody on social media where that spot is.
Oh, they know
Yeah.
the fucking cypress tree
Yeah,
you standing on.
A tree could move this way, and they're like, I know exactly where
exactly.
that
Oh
is.
yeah. And like I said, they'll bullshit you and they'll say, "Oh, I know that tree, man. You in Delacroix or you in Chapel Basin." And they kind of fish it. They don't really fucking know, but they think they know.
Comment,
and they want you to kind of comment on it. You know,
like, "Oh no, it's not."
I call that some internet snipers. They kind of trying to snipe some spots there, without doing the work themselves. But yeah, I mean, it does happen. So I could see on the hunting side where it's a little bit more stingy.
It is
with information,
Yes.
But at the same time, like what I try to do is every year take somebody who hasn't been exposed to waterfowl hunting.
Yeah.
Or like I squirrel hunt. I love squirrel hunting. That's a big part of my heritage growing up. I'll take like a kid or somebody that hasn't had the opportunity to go. We'll take them squirrel hunting with us, rabbit hunting with us, do some of that stuff, and it's just to get them acclimated with the outdoors. And there's not one that I have taken yet that has told me, "Hey, I don't want to go back. I didn't have a good experience."
Yeah,
not one.
That's what's funny. Technically speaking, I really got him head over heels for duck hunting.
Really?
Because
absolutely.
I've loved duck hunting since 14, 15 when I first got to go, and I fell in love with it. It's just something about it. It's kind of related to fishing. You don't have to be as quiet, in the duck blind as a deer. And he grew up deer hunting and squirrel hunting and rabbit. But I was like, "Man, let's go duck hunting. Come duck hunting with me." And he was like, "All right, man. Yeah, I've always wanted to try it." And then we went out the first time.
You hooked.
And he went through 2 boxes of shells for like 2 wood ducks.
Yep.
And after that, it was.
Oh, it's on. Now my wallet hurts.
Yeah, you better be ready. But for the wallet part of it, is it the best hunting that's out there in your opinion?
In my opinion, yeah.
The best type of, or at least
for me,
for Louisiana.
Wing
we
shooting.
here in Louisiana.
I would say wing shooting. Like
wing shooting, that's your favorite.
Including like doves, like dove hunting to me is a blast.
Yeah, man, I wish I had dove spots to go to nowadays. Growing up, I grew up in the rice fields and stuff like that. We had a lot of stuff that we could dove on. But around here, I don't have access to that. But I love it. I just love wing shooting.
Wing shooting
in
general.
And man, you wrap that thing in bacon and put it on a pit. It don't get much better.
Dude, put it in a gumbo.
Gumbo.
Oh my goodness.
That's a huge part, of it. But I mean, that's just, all of that is just extremely fun. But I don't know what it is about waterfowl hunting, but for me, ever since I've been, like I mentioned a while ago, about 8 years old, my dad going, I just never could shake it, man. I don't deer hunt.
Since the first trip.
I just don't do that stuff.
Nope.
And people look at me and they say, "Man, you got to be out your fucking mind as a waterfowl hunter." What the hell you guys are, especially a public land waterfowl hunter.
Yeah.
We're waking up at freaking 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, 1:30 sometimes, 1 o'clock.
I don't know if y'all are like this, but when I was coming up through college and stuff, I was sleeping in my fucking truck. I was literally sleeping at the entrances of WMA trying to get
half
in.
the time when we go duck hunting during the season, we don't sleep.
Yeah,
We'll split the afternoon. We'll go home. We'll grab our stuff. It's 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the morning. All right, we're beating back up.
Yeah,
let's go. Gas station, and then we roll.
Man, it's the life of a fucking waterfowl hunter. That's what it is.
I don't know what it is. Like you said, it's just once you get it, you're like.
And people
that's
think
what
you're
I want
crazy for that.
Well, we gotta be fucking crazy, Grant. I mean, we gotta be fucking crazy. I mean,
something in the brain don't work right.
Dude, I'm 44 years old. 2 years ago, Jackson looks at me. He's like, "Dad, we never got to hunt this specific hole, that I've been wanting to hunt since I've been born." He's like, "Man, I think if we go tonight, this is at 6:30 in the evening the night before." He's like, if we go tonight, stay at the camp. He's like, "You think we can get the hole?" I said, "Probably not." I said, "But if we go sleep at the entrance where we're supposed to be, we could probably get the hole." So he looks at me and I look at him. I said, "Your daddy's too old for this shit." And I looked at him. I said, I didn't tell him, "Fuck it, let's go." But I said, "But let's go anyway." And we did. I drove my 42-year-old ass, got in line at the WMA, and me and him slept in the truck all night long just so we could get that hole. And the irony of that is we shot 2 fucking ducks the next morning.
Oh, God.
2 goddamn ducks.
All that work for 2 ducks, but hey.
But you know what? We made a memory together.
Absolutely.
He got to experience something that we did when I was y'all age doing it, and we did it all the time then. So he got to feel like he was a part of it. Now, guess what? He never asked me again to do it after that.
But
he was so tired.
He won't forget of it.
He won't forget. Yeah. He talks about it, but he was too tired. But look, he's a freshman at Santa Monica this year, coming up in high school.
Really?
He's gonna have plenty of time to do it. He's gonna do it.
He's
And he's that type. He's like y'all are. Y'all remind me a lot of him. he's just ate up with it, and that's all he wants to do. He wants
Good.
to hunt. He wants to fish.
I mean, if
you
he's
know?
going to Santa Monica, he'll find some people that are.
Well, he will. He just made the
Yeah.
Santa Monica fishing team. They're going to be fishing high school here.
That's good.
A few weeks ago, they got a
I know
tournament,
that.
so pretty awesome deal. But yeah, it's just something about waterfowl, man. I don't know what it is about me not wanting to get the deer. It's like I don't want to give up a day of waterfowl hunting,
Yeah.
and I'm still that way at
There's-
this age.
There's
You know?
too much that goes into deer hunting, man. You gotta
Yeah.
wash your clothes and the right stuff.
Yep.
You gotta be quiet.
Sitting.
You don't have.
Oh.
Can't step this way. You can't look this way. I'm in
No.
a duck blind. I get up in the morning. I throw on my jacket. I throw
Put
on my
on whatever you
waders,
want,
and
yeah.
I walk into the blind or walk into the woods, and I sit on a bank. I don't have to do nothing else.
Yeah.
Gotta throw some decoys out
Just,
and quack on the call.
That's it.
It's
That's it.
not as you know.
I think people overcomplicate it when they think about it.
Oh,
I mean,
absolutely.
think
That's a
about
good
duck
point.
hunting. You
That's
know
a
what I
good
mean?
point. Well, and that's a good point. Let's touch on that because you did mention a while ago money wise, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and I get what you're saying. But do you have to have a ton of money? People think that man, I got to have a shit ton of money to get into waterfowl hunting.
No.
Okay,
I've
what
had-
I mean, what?
I've had the same shotgun for probably going on 10, 12 years now. And that's all I use.
Yeah, but-
Mossberg 500,
Yep.
12 gauge.
And how much was it brand new?
And it was like
you know?
$350 brand new.
Yep.
And that is probably the cheapest shotgun you can find that's not used.
And I held that thing a minute ago. It's smooth as butter.
Yeah.
I mean, as old as it is, you
And you
say
know how many times I've ever washed it?
probably none.
Nope.
Nope.
Still kicking.
I've maybe
Great thing about a pump shotgun.
yeah.
I've ran a snake
Yeah.
through it and shot some rim oil on it, and
Good to
that
go.
is as far as
Let
I
it
go.
rock.
Yep.
That's like me. Yeah. That's, I mean, you know, I say it hurts my wallet, but really a lot of that choice is mine.
Oh,
I didn't
Oh,
have
it's us. It's an addiction.
Yeah, I mean, you just want to
I don't-
buy. You want to buy good stuff. The
I don't
same way with
have to
fishing
have-
too. I like to have the expensive reels.
Correct.
Yeah. I
No,
don't have to have
absolutely
banded
not.
jacket. I don't have to have.
No.
You could have a Walmart jacket, Walmart pants, a pair of just black boots,
Yeah.
and some old Flambeau duck decoys that you got at a garage sale for $2.
That's
Yep.
right.
And you
And
can
you can
go
go kill
kill
ducks.
just as much as anyone out
Absolutely.
there.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yep.
I think that's the big thing too. Like if you really did want to get into waterfowl hunting, and you got a budget, nobody thinks about it. Get on Walmart's website about midway through duck season.
Yeah. When they clearance and everything out.
Dude, decoys are
Yeah.
$20 off a box,
Yep.
and duck calls are half off almost all the time.
Yeah, and look, it don't matter what type they are. I mean, if
No.
it gets you out there in the field, we hit Walmart at the end of the season last year
Mm-hmm.
by the camp over there in Breaux Bridge, Louisiana. They were selling like a half dozen decoys for $8 a half.
I remember that.
And we posted
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
and
Everybody,
you know,
I saw it yours. I saw it on TikTok.
Yeah.
People
People
post about
buying
it.
truckloads.
we bought a shit ton of decoys. We stuck them in the shed. Now I can't walk in my shed at home. But I mean, I got decoys for freaking till I'm 60-something years old.
Yeah.
Like I talked about, wanting to hunt till, you know.
You
But
need
you know, you're-
12 dozen? I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
in the shed.
yeah. I could double. I could sell them to y'all for double what I paid for them, and y'all could still buy
Still
them.
have a good deal.
Still
Yeah,
be a good
hell
deal.
yeah.
No,
You know?
you talked about, earlier you coming from a different generation than us. I mean, how many of the old cats were just spray painting milk jugs
Hey,
and tying weights on them?
true
as
story.
decoys?
True story. When I first started coming up, my family had some land, some private land that we hunted, and there was no duck decoys. We didn't have duck go to the store buy duck decoys. It was milk jugs and 2-liter Coke bottles.
Yeah.
At that time, when 2 liters it came out. And as a kid, my grandfather and my uncle would make me go out and spray paint them. Black,
Yep.
Yeah.
solid black.
Yep.
Spray. They'd go to Walmart, get a can of spray paint, and we would hunt over those decoys and kill ducks all the years I came up as a kid.
Yeah.
Later on in life, when I got into like high school, we had a camp up at Dewey Wills, which is up around central part of Louisiana.
Yeah.
And when I first started going there and I was kind of checking it out, I always heard it was good for duck hunting. So we went to Dewey Wills. I remember starting to ride, and the way Dewey Wills was set up at that time was it's on Saline Lake is
Yeah.
what it is, okay? Well, half of the lake was private, and then the borderline was running right down the middle for the WMA of the lake. So the left side of the lake was going to be all WMA. Well, the guys on the private side had permanent blinds. If you ever hunted Catahoula
Catahoula.
before,
That's what I was
Dewey
about to
Wills
say.
is exactly the same.
Yep.
Okay, it's the exact same setup. They only within what a bird flies is only about a couple of miles from
yeah.
each other.
Yeah.
But if you would see the setup, and I haven't been there because our camp, we've lost it now for several years, but I bet you if you go there today, you will see a duck blind on the private side, and it will have hundreds of 2-liter Coke jugs
Yeah.
all around, floating around the blind, painted black.
Catahoula is the same way.
Yeah.
They leave them.
Yep,
I
they
mean,
leave them.
They're
You're
not
right.
going to leave nice decoys.
No.
They may have nice decoys,
They'll lock
but
them
they'll
up.
have hundreds of just 2-liter bottles painted black.
Yep.
And they're all left out there.
Yeah,
They
all
leave
left
them
out there.
all season.
Left out there, and those birds will work those fucking decoys just like the most expensive decoys.
And that's what
you
I'm
can
saying. You don't have to spend any money. I mean, really, you know,
You
still
can go
it
out
goes
in the
back to
woods.
like the Walmart thing, dude. You can go get. I think they still sell. I mean, at least in our Walmarts here, but I can't remember what brand was it. Remington or
As far as what?
shotguns go.
Yeah, well, it depends.
go-
Like Walmart's big liberal now as far as that whole thing
Yeah,
goes.
and that's
with-
why I
with
said
what
Walmart's
they do.
here.
But certain Walmarts,
Yeah.
I think the Walmarts in the South, for
Yeah,
the most
for
part,
sure.
we still carrying. Most of them got guns, but
Yeah.
yeah, you'll see Remington. You know, and they got a lot of Turkish brands now
Mhm.
Yeah.
that have
Yeah.
imported guns that have come into the market.
TriStars.
You know, you used to buy if you wanted a good shotgun, you had to go buy Remington, Winchester, Browning,
Yep.
Benelli when they came
Yep.
on. You know, and that was kind of it. If a Turkish shotgun was put out there, it was a piece of shit.
Yeah.
They told you, you know.
Yeah.
And they still got guys who believe that. But I've purchased some Turkish shotguns. I've shot some Turkish shotguns, and you see places like Walmart Academy. Academy is a good
Academy's a
example.
big-
ATA Arms, their
ATA,
brand.
mhm.
You know, some other ones. But you could get some good quality equipment now at an affordable price.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
And I mean, you don't have to go crazy. You could go walk into your nearest WMA and pop a couple wood ducks with no decoys.
With
You
no
just-
decoys,
you just
yeah.
fly by.
Yeah.
If you want to get a taste of it and get out there and just enjoy it, you can do that.
And that's a good point. You guys, I mean, I know you have a boat now, but like when y'all were hitting me up over the last couple of years, we would talk about waterfowl hunting. I think y'all borrowed like the pirogue at the camp a couple of times, that type of stuff. Like y'all did a lot of walking hunting. You know, a
Yeah.
lot of foot on the
Miles.
ground walking.
Miles and miles.
But I mean,
carrying
what's some of the
everything.
success stories that y'all had by doing that? Did y'all have? Can you go as a beginning waterfowl hunter in Louisiana on public land? Can you go and kill ducks walking in the spots?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I killed-
Absolutely.
My favorite duck is a widgeon, and I killed
Me too.
the most beautiful widgeon I've ever seen in person walking in.
Walking in.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, a lot of people don't want to put that effort in. So some of those spots may be untouched.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a few mornings in Sherburne. I mean, you're familiar with Sherburne.
Yeah.
Walking
we have a
into
camp there.
walking into spots there,
Yeah.
there's no one else there.
Yeah.
It's just
Oh, yeah.
me and him and maybe a couple of buddies sitting on the bank of a pond with a couple dozen decoys hunting.
Yeah.
And not a person around us.
Yeah.
Now, it's public land. There's some days you get out there and
Oh
it's
yeah.
like,
You got.
damn, there's 5 hunters on this pond or whatever
Yeah.
ditch we're hunting. But no, I think there's definitely, in Louisiana especially, and I'm sure it's like this elsewhere, but I mean, how many WMAs do we have? Not only that, there's national wildlife refuges. I don't think a lot of people really think about them.
Yeah.
There's a lot of spots you can access on wildlife refuges.
Yeah. They're not
too.
advertised as
On
much as
foot.
the WMAs, but yeah, you're right.
There's a
what's-
lot of land you can hunt.
What's the one I'm thinking that's coming to mind up there around St. Francisville?
Ooh.
Tunica Hills,
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
Cat Island.
Cat Island.
That's what I'm trying
Yeah,
to think of.
yeah.
Cat Island.
Yeah.
You know, when we talk waterfowl hunting,
Well, that
that's
just
what we kind
recently opened up in the past couple of years. huh?
Yeah, yeah. Well, it all depends on the river stages
Yeah.
over there.
Yeah.
And if the river's right, there could be some really good hunting. But that's a national refuge,
Yeah.
you know,
Mhm.
type deal situation. So yeah, that's a good point. It's not only your wildlife management areas, but your national refuges that a lot of people could go into and have access.
Yep.
You know, I have a lot of people hit me up and they say, "Man, it seems like in Louisiana you got to have a boat to go waterfowl hunting." You know.
Yeah.
But no, that's not the case, man.
No.
And you guys could attest to that,
Yeah.
you know, because y'all have had some pretty successful hunts. It looked like
Yeah.
walking into a lot of spots, you know.
You can. I mean, if you're willing to walk a little ways.
Yeah,
And it's
You gotta
not,
put it in.
9 times out of 10, if it's not a super rainy season, it's not a hard walk.
No, it's
Correct.
all hard ground.
Oh,
like this year we extremely dry,
Dry,
you know.
super dry, yeah.
So it's gonna be interesting this coming season
yeah,
to see.
absolutely.
Hopefully, you know, for the walk-in hunters, there may be a little bit more traffic this year because guys with boats ain't gonna be able to take
Ain't
a
gonna be
boat.
able to
no
get
more.
back
you
there.
have to walk in.
You're gonna
That's
have to walk
Yeah.
into it. So
Ain't got no
it's
water.
gonna be interesting, man. I mean, you know, like as dry as it's been, it's gonna really change some things up this season. So and predictions and all that's kind of fun. You know, you get into that, and I used to do a little bit more dabble into that when I did content and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna go whether the forecast says it's gonna suck or I'm not. You know, so I just soon go and put in my time out
Why
there.
not, dude?
You
Why
know,
not?
I mean, there's been plenty of times where we walk into Sherburne, walk 2 or 3 miles in the woods, and we'll sit for hours and just look at the trees and watch some birds fly by.
Yeah.
They're all flying miles and miles away.
high.
You know, one of us is taking a nap on a tree.
Oh, yeah.
We're, you
This
know,
one.
This
yeah,
one.
I'll knock out.
No, it's
And-
great, man. I mean, you know, you're always. I find it hard to believe that you can't have any days that you're just not going to shoot birds. You know.
Yeah.
So you just can't look at it with a bad attitude.
No.
You know, go hunt and enjoy it.
Learn
And
something
if you
from
don't
it.
shoot anything, you learn. Yeah, you got to learn a lesson from it, right?
All right, I didn't do something right. Decoys were flaring.
Let's try something different
Mojo
next
was
time.
out and it shouldn't have been.
Yeah.
You know, I need more water, different, trees around, different openings.
That's when you start. Yeah, you really start to.
You get to dive into it.
Yeah.
What did I do wrong? What
Start
can I do
drill
next
down
time?
on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I mean, let's be honest. On public land nowadays, if we were making a living like the old market hunters, we'd all be probably broke. You know,
Yeah.
if you're gonna have more bad days
Days
than you
are
are
good.
good.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
But like you said, it's a lot about the memories, the experiences, the
Yeah.
conversations, all that type of stuff. You know, just little things that come with that time of year. One of our favorite traditions is Little Debbie Christmas tree cakes. Hey, I'm a fat boy, man.
Oh, yeah.
So when
No,
it
you
comes to
can't.
hunt season,
Honey buns, iced honey buns.
well, I was gonna
Honey
ask you,
buns,
what's
man.
what's your favorite blind food?
Got to be honey buns.
Honey bun,
Oh,
both of
yeah,
y'all?
Oh,
dude.
yeah.
What?
Go
Iced,
ahead.
regular, it doesn't matter.
We talking
Honey
Little
buns.
Debbie honey buns? We talking
Any of them.
Just iced
Yeah,
honey
yeah,
buns,
just
or
honey
regular
buns in
honey
general.
buns.
Yes, man.
I like the donut sticks.
yeah,
There's a-
donut with some coffee and
Yeah.
like
In a thermos or a Yeti
what?
cup or something.
Mine's
You talking my
mine's
language
Red
there?
Bull.
I like that,
I don't
man.
even drink.
Oh man, we'll get on them Red Bulls, bro, for
Oh.
duck season and.
Well, yeah, if you're
Woo.
running like y'all do and getting in,
Well, it's
y'all
easy.
still young guys, so y'all
Yeah.
y'all still party a little bit, go to the bars, and a lot of people
getting
don't
tough,
know this. Yeah, well, it's about to get tougher. Let me tell you.
I may be 27, but man, that next day or that afternoon when you get back from doing all that, you're like,
Dead.
all right, have a good day.
Yeah. I'll
You-
see y'all
you're
later,
out
guys.
straight to sleep.
Yeah, you got to wake up at 6 that evening and go back in line and go hunting again the next
Uh-huh.
morning sometimes.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it gets a lot tougher. Trust me, it does. But I had to get into the habit as I got older, man. I had to be in bed. I knew 8 o'clock. I had to be in bed at 8 o'clock. Because if I didn't, the next day I couldn't function. And then you got, as y'all get older, you're going to have kids come in and play, wives, all that type of stuff. Man,
It's really
hey,
busy.
look,
You can't
I'll be
juggle
honest
all
with
that
you.
on no
When I
sleep.
started going to bed early, because, when you get married and then you have kids, wife says it's not exactly their favorite time of the year with you going every day for hunting,
Well, yeah, of course.
hunting season. But when I started going to bed at a good time and I could go hunting, come back and stay awake and function,
Yeah.
happy wife, happy life.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Made a big difference.
Yeah, absolutely.
Made a huge difference at that point. So, it kept mama happy and kept us happy in turn, as far
Hey, I'm
as that
sure
goes.
as your sons get older, she's probably loving that too, because you taking them.
She
can,
does.
She can have a nice relaxing
She
day.
does. She could go do her nails.
Uh-huh.
She could go do something.
Yup.
Have a girls' day out, and she's like, "Hey, take them.
Take 'em hunting."
And that's what's awesome for me. I got 2 boys, so when we had our first one, it was a boy. Okay, great. The second one, she's like, kind of like a girl. Now as they older and she gets to
Yeah.
see the freedom when that comes, she's like, glad I had
Yeah,
boys.
go with your daddy.
Hey,
I'm going to
I'm
have a
good.
day.
Yeah, exactly. And she grew up in the outdoors, so my father and them were big outdoorsmen as well. So I think also coming from a family of outdoorsmen, the women could understand a lot better what
yeah,
you go
absolutely.
through, kind of what
Growing
to
up around
expect.
it.
Yeah, yeah. They're not.
Yep.
It's not a super jealous type deal where hey, you're not spending time with me. They're none of that type of shit. They kind of know what
They've
to
seen it.
expect. They've been
Yeah.
through it as a child. So boy, if you can find you a girl who's coming from an outdoor family, that's a
yeah.
plus. I'm gonna be
Oh,
honest with you.
absolutely.
That is definitely a plus. So honey bun's favorite blind food, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
What's our favorite way to cook waterfowl? Because y'all like to cook.
Oh,
These
man, I love
boys
to
can
cook.
cook. For everybody listening, I walked in, they offered me freaking food when I came in the door today, so that they could cook. They are good
Like
cooks.
to eat.
Like to eat. I like to eat. What's is favorite wild game duck? Deer? What y'all like?
Ooh,
What's
that's
the
rabbits.
tough.
rabbit?
Yeah.
Hey,
Oh,
rabbit. So we
man.
call that La Pan,
Yeah.
where I come
Yep.
from in South Louisiana,
Uh-huh.
La Pan, and that is good.
That's some of the best.
Rabbit
ones.
is good.
Yeah, but no, ducks is hard for me because when I killed teal, we started doing tacos, almost like a fajita style,
Yeah,
more than a
yeah,
taco.
that's more popular now.
Like you will take the duck breast and we'll just breast them, and then sear,
Strip it. Yeah.
medium rare,
Yeah.
and then strip it out on a taco with whatever you want.
Pretty
Cilantro,
good.
onions, cheese. Oh god.
I've never done that
You
yet.
know,
I
but
need
like
to do that.
your bigger ducks, man, just cook it like a steak and feed it to me.
Yeah.
You
Pan
know,
seared.
Nothing crazy.
Throw it in the gravy.
Little butter, little garlic.
Yep.
On the plate, eat it just like you would a ribeye.
Oh,
Man,
yeah.
this year I breasted some and I did them on the smoker. All the breasts, like the bigger ducks especially, on the smoker. You talking about awesome, dude.
What?
It made like an orange glaze with it, you know,
Yeah.
so where you could dip it. I put that out at Christmas time. Every piece was
Gone.
gone in 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, they wiped it out. And then I took a bunch this year and I did something I've never done before. Just like we make deer sausage,
Yeah.
I made duck
Duck
breast
sausage.
sausage this
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
And it's freaking good.
I've
It is
had
good.
some.
Yeah.
I can't remember who I got it from, but yeah, it is delicious.
You got to mix it with pork because duck's dry. You
Yeah.
know, so you gotta
Gotta put some
have a
pork
good,
fat.
gotta have
Yeah.
that pork in it
Yeah.
to mix it. But like in a gumbo, you do a duck gumbo. It's
Yeah.
really good in that.
Gravy,
Or
too.
We'll put
Gravy?
gravy. We'll
Dude.
smoke. I'll put it on the pit and do it, and the kids eat it like a po' boy.
We've
Yes.
done
I mean, it's good.
We've done some experience. Like, you ever had pool do jerky?
No,
Pool do
I
jerky's
did
good.
duck jerky a
Don't-
few years ago,
okay.
and it was fucking horrible.
Pool do jerky? Don't ever try it. It
Really?
tastes like.
Is it like rubber?
It's
Just tough?
Just shit.
Okay.
So
When y'all hunt public land, y'all ever see gallinoos? Y'all come across some gallinoos?
yeah, but I've never really.
Like not pool do, but
Marsh
red.
chickens.
Yeah,
yeah,
marsh
we
chickens.
call it marsh chickens. Yeah.
Hey, true story. A few years
So
ago,
good.
like at Sherman, where our camp's at, we hunted, and they got a good bit of them over there. So we killed some, and I was like, I had seen a video on that, and I was like, okay, look, man, I'm gonna keep a couple of these things. And I said, but I'm not gonna tell nobody. I said, I'm gonna go ahead and try this myself before I put this out there. And me and Jackson cleaned them, and you basically pull the legs because that's where all the meat's at on them, a lot of.
Sort of like.
And their gizzards are really good. So if you do a
Pool do same
gumbo,
way.
that type of stuff, it's kind of like pool do for
Yeah.
gizzards. But when you clean those and process them, it's like white meat chicken.
Really?
It's I mean
Delicious.
it's clean and good. It is. We did kebabs with them.
Ooh.
We put them on a skewer with peppers, bell pepper, and smoked sausage, and we
Yeah.
grilled them. You
Oh,
talk about
bruh.
freaking delicious.
That sounds great.
It's good.
You can't talk me out of wild game. Like,
Yeah.
I was just texting my buddy Frank today,
Yeah.
and I'm like, hey, dude, Friday, Nutra season opens.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Because if you're not in Lafourche or Terrebonne, they have a season on recreation season,
Which
Correct.
is wild to
which is
me.
crazy.
Again,
But, you know, I don't know if you've ever tried Nutra.
I've eaten it. I
I'm
have
sure-
eaten it before in a gravy. Actually,
It's very good.
Yeah, it is. It's a, I
Clean
mean,
meat.
it's a giant ass squirrel.
Yeah, it is.
It eats vegetation
It
just
eats
like a
vegetation.
squirrel does, or anything.
It reminds
like
me, it's kind of like a rabbit and a squirrel almost
that.
together.
Yeah, it is.
Yep.
It is.
You get kind of that same, almost the same, like, gotta cook it down and get it tender as a squirrel. But you almost get that
That
cleaner
same
meat
texture.
like you
It
get from
is.
a rabbit.
It is. I
So-
tell people all the time because we do cook and we'll do some little videos on that. I used to do more cooking stuff, but
Yeah.
I get people from out of state. They're always fascinated by Louisiana cooking.
Yes.
That's all that
yeah.
is.
Oh, 100%.
And I always tell people, I say, you give a coon ass any kind of wild game or meat, we'll make it
We'll
taste
make it
good.
Look, you give me some yellow onions
Yep.
and some smoked sausage. I'll make any wild game.
Oh
taste
yeah.
good.
Put anything in a crock pot and it's going to be delicious
Yeah.
with all that type of stuff.
100%. And I think that's why a lot of people are fascinated with the way we cook, because we cook everything and it's always good.
It's always good.
You know, people come here for the hunting, the fishing, and the cuisine.
If it's not good, they're not from Louisiana originally.
Yeah.
I'll just be
Yeah.
honest with you.
No,
They're not. They're
you're
not,
right,
you
you're
know?
right.
They're not. They might be a transplant, but they ain't originally.
That's
from
right.
there.
That's
and
right.
that's the truth, you know. So, well, kind of going back. I know we're getting close to an hour now, guys. But fishing, as far as Ride Outdoors goes, you guys probably have some of the best damn content I've seen on YouTube in Louisiana with fishing. Maybe all of YouTube, to be honest with you.
Thank you.
And I'm being honest. I'm not just telling you that to blow smoke up your ass. I really think your content's good. But, you know, a big part of the passion for outdoors with you guys has to do revolve around fishing, obviously, you know?
Yeah.
So, I mean, tell everybody a little bit about, you know, how you guys approach new areas here in Louisiana. You know, when you're looking for new spots to go to, kind of what are y'all looking for? Or what brings you joy out on the water?
Google.
Kayak fishing is a big
yeah.
part of what y'all
kayak
do.
fishing is
Yes. That's
our
our
bread
jam.
and butter.
We've
Yeah.
been doing that since
Yeah.
high school.
And that's exploded, man, over the years. Kayak
When
fishing's
we got
exploded.
into
There was
it, it
no
was
one.
you spend $100 on a sit inside
Mhm.
kayak, and you get your milk crate,
Uh-huh.
you cut PVC pipe, you make a little divot in it, put your rods in it, you
Yep.
bungee corded everything to the kayak, and you just went out and you fished. Now we've got pedal drive kayaks that we can steer
Depth
with our
finder.
feet.
I got the power
He's
pole.
got
Dude,
on.
they
power
cost as
pole
much as
on
like
his.
boats I sell for a living, you know?
Oh yeah, we
It's
lucked
crazy.
up with ours now,
We got
but
a
I
good,
mean,
good deal. But I mean, you know, what you were saying, I think my favorite part about just fishing in general is finding new spots.
Google
Right.
Maps.
And Grant was about to say it.
Google Maps
Google
is
Maps.
our best friend.
Man, we've got so
hours
on iPhone you can share notes.
Yeah.
With one another. Me and Grant have a list.
I mean, it's.
I couldn't tell you how many new
you have to
spots are on
scroll
there.
a couple times.
And y'all just send it to each
Google
other?
Maps,
We'll
bro,
sit there
yeah.
if we're bored. He may be at the house. I'm over here. We're doing something. I'll just bring up the computer and just, all right, Google Maps. Oh, they have a little launch right here.
Never seen that.
What's that launch called? And then we'll write it down. Like, all right, we have to go. Wait a minute, we found places in Mississippi
Yeah,
that
we
we
went
went
fishing
recently.
in Mississippi. Yeah, it's on it's on the YouTube.
It's
Yeah.
on YouTube.
La France
Yeah.
Marina.
France Marina.
Okay.
We found
Right
that
across
one on
the-
accident.
Was it right across the Pearl River?
Yeah, right across.
Yeah, yeah.
On the coast.
Completely on accident, just scrolling through, going,
Yep.
oh, that's good. Oh, that's a marina. And we were like,
Let's
all right,
go.
screw it,
Let's go hit it.
Yeah.
Grabbed a 1-day fishing license in Mississippi, which that's confusing to begin with, but
Yeah.
Yeah. I've actually had to do that
Yeah.
before.
we got it and we went out and we caught fish.
Oh, yeah, we caught
But
fish.
The funny part was we launched and we went and fished all around and we caught the most fish in a tiny little pond off
Right
the
by
road.
the road.
Like right off the road.
Really?
And we caught redfish.
Didn't even
and
need the
bass
kayak.
and- no.
Really.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Could have caught them from the bank.
That's about right.
But that's what's fun about it. I think, like, to me, it kind of got to be where I fished a lot. And I fished a lot in the same places. And for me, it was like, the excitement of fishing is fun, but the excitement of finding a new spot you've never fished and catching
getting on.
fish,
Yeah.
that's it, man. That's
Yeah.
where it's at.
Yep.
You
That's
know?
like
Now, is it saltwater fishing that drives y'all, or does it matter? What's y'all favorite? As far as that goes?
I think we kind of argue on that.
it's
One
a
salt,
toss
one's
up.
fresh.
I am.
You seem like
so-
you lean toward Grant. You seem like you lean toward freshwater. You like
I'm
you like
bass.
ripping bass fish.
Die-hard
Yeah.
bass fisherman.
I could tell.
Yeah.
I could
and
tell.
Taylor is super redfish.
Yeah, I love to
Really?
catch bass.
You
Don't
know.
get me wrong, but man,
And they
red
so
fishing-
alike, really.
Oh, 100%.
I mean, so really, you kind of both like the same technique and style,
Yeah.
just two different species.
I would gladly go fish saltwater, but I
You
love
want bass.
Hey,
bass.
guess what? We live in South Louisiana.
It's
Do
the
it all.
best of both
A lot
worlds.
of water here is brackish, and you can catch bass and redfish in the same place. And I think that's my favorite fishing trips.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Go
man.
get a big old mixed
One-
bag of everything.
Well, it's great because one cast you catch a bass, the next
Yeah.
cast you can catch a redfish,
Exactly.
in the same exact hole, and it's
Yeah.
so much fun.
And at some point,
You never know what you're gonna get.
Sometimes of the year you can catch trout and
Trout.
flounder right behind a bass and redfish.
Yep,
Yeah, you sure can.
it's so much fun. That to me is great.
Do y'all fish tournaments? Do y'all get into tournament fishing, or is it more for the sport?
We have done, like me and him have fished some benefit tournaments,
Mhm.
and that's what I mainly fished. I like to go to the benefit tournaments because at the end of the day, if I lose, I'm not looking to
Raising
win.
money.
It's
Yeah.
raising money
Yeah.
for
Yeah,
a good
correct.
cause.
But yeah, I think the sport is what gets me. You get
Yeah,
to the
it's
tournaments,
just-
and I like the pressure.
Yeah,
It
You know, I like
takes
to
too
have
much of
fun.
the fun away from
Yeah,
the fishing.
you're right.
Yeah.
Y'all right. I used to bass fish tournaments a good bit when I was when Jackson was real young. When we met at Cabela's. We actually
Yeah.
all met, and we didn't touch on that, but we all met at Cabela's. That's how I got
Yeah.
to know both of y'all personally when we worked there. And back at that time, I was fishing tournaments, and now I don't fish any tournaments because I'm so occupied with other stuff.
Oh yeah.
And I don't miss it a bit because when I go, it's for the passion. It's
Yeah.
like I just enjoy it, you know.
Yeah, tournaments were fun. Get up in the morning, you're pumped up.
Yeah.
And you're trying to catch those 5, but if you get really hard into it, and don't get me wrong, I would love to be a professional bass fisherman on any circuit.
I
would
used to
love
think
it.
I wanted to. That's a lot of work, though.
Yeah, it is.
But man,
And a tough
just
living.
being able to go out there and enjoy fishing
And not having
for
to
what
stress
it is.
about catching
you
a
know.
fish.
If you catch them, cool. If you don't, oh well.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a big
It takes
deal.
away from it.
The worst
Yeah.
thing we got to worry about is if we could get footage to make a new video.
Yeah.
You know, you
Shit,
got to look
do I
at the
got my
pressure.
SD card, is it clear?
Yeah.
Like
Correct.
So
batteries.
we both bought 256 gigabyte
Gigabyte.
cards.
Go!
Yeah.
You hit record and you
Record
just
the whole
fish,
month.
man.
For
Like,
10 hours, bro.
that's why
You
it
can
takes us
record
so
for a
long.
month.
It takes us so long to do a video because
You got to go back through.
we
it.
have 8 hours of a 6-hour fishing day. We've got 8 hours of clips.
Yeah, that's tough.
It's hard.
It's
That
so
does
hard to
make it
get
hard.
through everything.
Very.
Because I find myself when I'm recording, I try to keep the clips short,
Yeah.
so I don't have to wait like 3 minutes to edit through it and then
Yep.
find the one piece I want to use.
And it's
Imagine,
so hard
imagine
to-
4 cameras.
Oh my,
8
yeah.
hours on.
And it's so hard to edit without each other. Like
Yeah.
I almost need him
Correct.
here
Yeah.
because he knows what happened in his day,
That's a
and
good
I know
point.
what happened in my day.
So you kind of know where to
to
go
line
to.
everything up. All right, man. What did you do at this time?
Yes.
To get. It's so hard to edit without Taylor being here,
Yeah.
or Taylor to edit without me being here, unless it's a simple Like,
Yeah,
just
we get
quick to the
separated.
point.
It's a good point.
While you're fishing, in the kayak.
Yeah.
We
yeah.
can each, he can take this bite.
That's
I
what's
can
great
take
about
that.
having multiple cameras.
Yeah.
Grant told me, he said the other day, he said we throw a camera on anybody that comes with us.
Pretty
Oh, yeah.
much.
You know, and that's
why,
awesome.
Why not?
Yeah.
You know,
Get
as long
multiple
as they're
angles,
comfortable with it.
views, you know, and experiences. So, and everybody experiences is different, you know. So that's a great idea, I think,
Absolutely.
in my opinion. So, all right. So let's touch on something else, guys. We're talking fishing, obviously. Now, you guys were telling me y'all took a trip down to the Florida Keys, correct?
Yeah.
Now, when was that? Let's kind of walk us through that. How'd that come about?
2021.
Okay.
Right
Yeah.
after.
So during the pandemic.
Was
Almost. It was kind
It
of
was
towards the end.
towards the end of
Gotcha.
the pandemic.
Gotcha.
Might have been
And-
2022.
And Florida was a little more relaxed.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
They
the
didn't
Santa,
have-
you in the Santa's
yeah,
country over
yeah,
there.
they didn't have
Oh,
the
yeah.
mask mandate.
Yeah.
If you want to wear it, wear it.
I ain't
So-
wearing no fucking mask on a
But-
kayak.
Yeah. The Florida Keys and the Everglades has always been like top tier bucket list trip, and
For
we've
both of us.
always talked about it and always wanted to go. And they were still at the apartment. Him and Frank had an apartment, so I was over there all the time. We were sitting on the couch watching videos, probably of the Everglades
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
the Keys or something. And I meant, man, let's go to the Keys. And he was like, yeah, let's do it. And I was like, okay. And, you know, the conversation kind of died down. And meanwhile, I'm scrolling on my phone, looking at Airbnbs. And I was like, hold up. We can rent this place for a week for $600.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
It's like 7 nights.
7
Damn.
nights.
Yeah.
I think it was 8, to be honest. Because we played it on a holiday for work.
Yeah.
Where we only took off like 4 days of
Yeah.
4 days of
4
work.
days of vacation, and we
And
got
we
like
left.
8 days of fishing.
And I was
So
like,
$600-700 for the whole week.
it was
whole week.
$600 flat to stay at, I forget her name, but she was the best.
Super nice lady.
Super nice. It was in her little like mother-in-law suite that had like
Yeah.
a refrigerator and a microwave,
Yeah.
a bed, and we brought an air mattress.
Something simple.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, it's only $600. And he was like, well, yeah, but none of our vehicles get down there. And I said, well, screw that. Let's rent something.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
So we went to Hertz and we rented what was it?
A Ford Transit.
Ford Transit van.
Well, y'all transporting kayaks is
Yeah.
what y'all
Yep.
were bringing? Okay, so you go
Yeah.
kayak fishing down there.
We drove after work from here in Gonzales
Yeah.
all the way to the tip of Florida.
Damn.
We stayed in Homestead, Florida, which is right before the Keys,
Right before the
about
Keys.
20-30 minutes outside of the first key.
How far a trip was that from here?
I mean, after work, it turned out to be almost 24
Yeah.
hours of driving.
Stopping. And,
We
Yeah, we stopped and
and-
slept at a rest area and
Yeah.
or two.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was about 22 hours, but I think the funniest part of that whole story, though, was us sitting on the couch talking shit, and Grant was like, hold up,
Let's go.
look at this Airbnb.
It's
And then,
actually more affordable.
then he was like, hey, the deposit is only like $300.
So we
Yeah.
booked
And
it
I was
that
like,
night.
I said,
Hell
I got
yeah.
150 I can give you right
I
now.
said,
Yeah.
all right. I hit booked. He sent me 150. We booked it. I said, we'll figure out the rest later.
Yeah.
I'm
That's
not worried
badass,
about
dude.
Yeah, it was great.
You know, that's what's great about it. Y'all age, you ain't got nothing holding you back, tying you down.
Yeah.
Fuck it, let's go.
Let's go. And we did.
I think we booked it the following night because we had to go to work to make sure we could get off of work.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
but
it
make sure
was
you have a
like-
job when you
It
come
was
back.
it was pretty instant.
It was instant, man.
But
That's
I mean,
awesome.
So we started thinking about, how are we going to get these kayaks down there? We want to bring the kayaks. We have to bring them.
Yeah.
That's we're diehard kayak fishermen. We've got to bring them.
Yeah.
So I was like, man, we can get. We talked to my dad. We talked to everybody. And I think it was my dad that went, why don't you get a van, for like a moving van?
Yeah.
So we looked at like U-Haul, but that was too expensive. Well, Hertz was running a deal, and it was like, I think it was like $350, unlimited miles,
Unlimited mileage.
for
What?
10 days.
And these Ford Transits are huge.
They're
Yeah,
huge.
that's a massive vehicle.
Yeah.
So I got off of work one day, grabbed my tape measure, and I drove to Hertz. And I went, hey, can you bring the ProMaster, which was the Dodge, and the Ford Transit out and let me measure it? We're trying to.
We told them we
we were
moving
telling them
kayaks.
we're moving stuff down to Florida, and we needed something long enough to fit in there.
Yeah.
So I went and measured it, and I was like, man, it's going to be close. It's going to be close, but screw it. We'll make it work.
Yep.
So I booked it. We got it, and it was a headache to get it because they wanted to give me, it was not going to fit in the Dodge ProMaster.
Okay.
Only was going to fit in the Ford Transit. So I was like, can you guarantee me a Ford Transit van? And they were like, absolutely, absolutely. I get there and they're like, well, we only have. I tried to get there. We booked it a couple days ahead of time just to get everything lined up.
Yeah.
And I got there the first day and they're like, well, we don't have a Ford Transit van. I was like, I have to have this Ford Transit van.
Because these bitches will not fit.
The kayaks are long.
Yeah, y'all fish out some big.
His was
13
13 and mine was 12.7. Yours was what, 13.6?
Yeah.
And I was like, I have to have it. And they're like, okay, and we're so sorry, whatever. So they were like, come back tomorrow. We're gonna have one brought here for you. So I go back tomorrow. I get it. It's a headache because you can't use a debit card. You have to use a credit card.
Oh God.
It has to do this and that. So whatever. We finally get it. We bring it home and we put Taylor's kayak in sideways. Or no,
it was in between the two front seats.
Yeah. We put it up so our center console was the nose of Taylor's kayak.
Yeah.
But my kayak at the time was so wide in the front it wasn't going to fit. So we ratchet strapped it from one end of the van to the other. We built like a little shelf.
We built a hanger for it essentially to
hang it in.
So
one
kayak was touching the roof and one was laid in the middle, and we just threw everything on top of it.
Everything on top.
Holy shit.
I mean, you're talking luggage. We brought all the tackle.
Yeah, threw everything.
We had
we had no clue what we were getting ourselves
poles.
into. We brought big rods, little rods, fly rods, just
ultralight rods. I mean, we brought everything.
Didn't know what to expect.
Oh, absolutely.
But let me tell you,
had to have a big vessel.
When you say the
big
perfect,
truck, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, the Transit we had to have. It had to be a certain footage long.
Yeah.
But I think we couldn't have accidentally booked a more perfect place.
Really?
Oh.
Where we stayed was like 2 blocks from the Everglades Highway that runs fully across the state from East Coast to West Coast. And we were like 2 blocks from there and like 20 minutes from the first key before the Key
That
West.
just worked out perfect.
It worked out perfect.
Maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours to Key West.
Like Key West was like 2 hours.
We went to Key West just
45 miles an hour.
Yeah, just to kind of get some. Yeah,
I mean,
we fished all in between the keys. And one thing about like South Florida, man, there's state parks everywhere.
Is there?
We went
and every one of them.
They're $2-3.
Yeah, $2-3 to get in,
really?
And every one of them has like a canoe kayak launch.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, we
awesome.
were throwing in like you'd have a hole. No bigger than the kayak, and you'd have to like lay on the kayak to get in. And we were shoving them through, walking through the bushes, getting in them, and man, it was
great.
Crazy.
It was
fun.
Snook, if you want.
Well, I was gonna say, how's the fishing? I mean, obviously you hear how famous it is for the fishing, but what did y'all catch? What did it live up to the expectations?
Absolutely, in every shape of your imagination, it is perfect.
Yeah, it is.
I love bass.
Mm-hmm.
I love red fishing. If I could fish for one fish for the rest of my life, it would be snook.
Snook.
Because it's like a bass and a redfish got together, had a baby, and then you inject it with steroids, and it's just
seriously
insane.
They fight.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Aggressive as hell.
You ever seen a smallmouth? How they call them bottle rockets?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Just like that.
Yeah. Smallmouth
insane fight.
Yeah.
And just pound for pound, just muscle.
And dude, it's so much fun to watch them.
Yeah.
A lot of that water down there is super clear. I mean, you could skip a bait up underneath the mangroves, and you retrieving that bait back quick. They love it fast, and you'll see 5 of them coming after. Yeah, they're
what
super
you throwing
aggressive.
for snook? What were y'all catching them at?
Honestly,
flukes.
We use
flukes.
Zoom flukes.
Good old Zoom
White
flukes.
Zoom flukes.
And, I'll be damned.
And what was it, Overcast lures?
Overcast from Pierre Park.
Yeah.
We threw one of his swim baits. I can't remember the name now, but
they were hitting it
just on a jig head. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Pretty aggressive.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And that's what I think that was really fun. And then also, I mean, we just caught so many different things.
We caught
all kind of different snappers.
I caught pacu, which is a South American fish.
Yep.
Yeah. Mayan cichlids.
Yep.
They had flower horn. We saw bala sharks, like aquarium fish, just swimming in the water. It's insane.
South Florida,
I didn't know they have all that.
From the aquarium trade and all the hurricanes.
Yeah.
They have all sorts of invasive
peacock
fish.
bass.
Yeah, I guess that's why they get so much stuff.
We never could catch it.
My number one enemy right now is a peacock bass.
Yeah, we couldn't
peacock bass.
Tried so hard.
We tried while we were there, and it
couldn't get them.
No.
Yeah, that's a beautiful fish too.
Mm-hmm.
But the fishery is insane. It kind of reminds me of here because one way 20 minutes you're in salt water.
Yeah.
I mean pure salt water, but you go 20 minutes the other direction, and you're catching saltwater fish and freshwater fish.
Yeah, you can catch anything.
Yeah, and Florida's just such a melting pot of fish. Like you said, it's freshwater, it's saltwater, but it's also East Coast, West Coast.
Yep.
Yeah.
East Coast Gulf. You've got all the different massive tarpon and huge sharks and just.
You can really do everything.
You can, yeah.
Catch anything.
Yeah, there's guys on the East Coast of Florida and even like South Georgia and all that, they go offshore on the kayaks and catch sailfish.
Yep.
You know, because your deep water's right there off the beach.
Correct.
And
Yeah.
that place is insane. The fishery there is amazing.
Yeah.
There's so much you can do. I think it's almost endless.
If I couldn't be here, I would be there.
You'd
Yeah.
be there. That
Yeah, correct.
I can tell y'all definitely go back for sure.
Oh,
yeah.
100%.
That's something you would do again.
Yeah, I could definitely live there.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
That's
too.
awesome, man.
And
That's
that's
a
the
cool
other
trip
thing.
to take.
Just the experience
Oh, hell
of
yeah.
being there, man. It's so beautiful. Even in the Everglades, reminds you kind of the marsh. You got that dark colored water and all the bushes and the
Stained
trees.
water.
And then an hour down into the Keys, just like you're in a different country.
Right.
Yeah.
It just
Crystal
changes.
clear blue
Yeah.
water.
Yeah, just that like
Yeah.
Bahama type water, you know. Just
Yeah.
It's just
Oh, yeah.
the Everglades is crazy. We got chased by an alligator.
I bet.
First time.
First
Really?
time I've
And
ever
I've fished here my whole life in
Yeah.
Louisiana.
I've been around alligators.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like y'all shocked to see an alligator.
We were
But-
paddling through, and she was kind of like bellowing and shaking the water and growling, and we were like, okay, so we started paddling a little faster because we didn't have pedal drives. And then this is why he's laughing, is I'm paddling, he's paddling. Why? Taylor's picking it up a little bit faster,
Taylor's getting the hell out of
and
there.
I'm right behind him, and then she turned and started like
Beeline.
aggressively coming after us, and Taylor was like,
Yeah.
he left me.
Gone.
And I was like, what the hell, man? He was
Every
like,
man
look,
for
I
himself at that
gotta
point.
be faster than you. That's all that matters. And he's paddling.
It's who's in better shape at that
Oh,
point.
yeah.
And I'm serious, man. I mean, we fished. You can ask Graham. I mean, we put kayaks in everywhere.
Yeah.
And you know just as well as we
Well,
do.
I know, man. Just watching y'all, I want to go with y'all. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I
Yeah.
want to take a trip because
Anytime.
Yeah.
y'all fish some pretty cool ass spots. I'm gonna say.
And you know, I think a lot of people, and of course nowadays with social media, you know, kayak fishing is a lot more popular. But people still get the misconception that kayak fishing is not as successful or, it's such hard work. Or I can tell you now, I've got spots. Me and Grant's got spots. You don't have to paddle 100 feet,
yeah,
Yeah.
and you're catching fish.
get into it.
And you're
Yeah.
catching 10 times as
Yeah.
much as somebody in a
Yeah.
boat. And those boats can't get to where we are.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
that's the
yeah,
other great.
that's
best
just cool.
part.
Yeah, that's a great.
And
part
I
about
like
it.
fishing off of a kayak. It's something that I've dabbled in a little bit myself, and then we use it for duck hunting season.
Mhm.
But I like fishing out of a kayak. It's different catching a fish out of a kayak than it is out of a boat.
But is it not a blast?
It's a blast.
Yeah.
It is
Even-
fun. It's
even
fun as hell.
a pound bass.
It'll
can
pull you.
whip
Yeah.
that
Yes.
kayak
Yeah,
around.
Correct.
It's
And
so
just
fun.
the angles, man. It's so different than in a boat. You're
Yes.
so low to the water. You throw in a spinnerbait, stuff that you're just so used to doing out of a normal sized boat. You got to kind of change things up
Yeah.
a little bit in a kayak because you don't have as much room to move around.
Yeah, but like when I was younger, back when 16, 17, during the summer in
Yeah.
high school, I would go. My uncle lives on the Diversion Canal.
yeah,
I would just go drop the kayak in. And you know how easy it is to flip for bass underneath the docks.
I can almost,
Yeah.
I can
Underneath
almost
those docks.
cast better in a kayak than I can in a actual
Yeah.
boat.
you so used to it now.
Mhm.
I can get down and I can toss it right next to me, and I've skipped them so perfectly across the water, under
Yeah.
stuff. You're lower to the water, you're
Yeah.
closer, and
Yeah, it's different.
you get different angles. And it's
Yeah, it's
great.
great. I think you really do have an advantage when it comes to that. If you like flipping and pitching docks, or like any type of heavy cover, it's so much easier in a kayak.
Really?
Yeah.
I would never think that.
Oh my
Absolutely.
god!
I
You don't
would
have to
never
flip.
think
You don't
that.
have to flip underneath docks in a kayak. You just kind of sidearm it.
Yeah.
And you're in the back of that dock all the way. to the
Yeah,
back.
that makes sense.
Something
I mean,
that you
it makes
probably
sense.
couldn't do from a boat, trying to get all the way to the back of
Correct.
the dock.
You more lower to the water. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, it does make a lot of sense, to be honest
But
with you.
I think just the exhilaration of it, man. I mean, you
It's cool.
Look into a 25-inch, 26-inch redfish in a kayak.
Pull you around.
Oh man, it's a blast.
Take you for a Cajun taxi
What?
ride
That's right.
somewhere, you know?
It's insane.
It's hard
That's
to beat
awesome.
for me.
And we've caught some big bulls in the kayak.
Oh,
When I'm
Yeah, 30
most
plus
recent I
pounders.
can think is that big one I caught
Wrigley's.
in Wrigley.
Regulars.
Yep.
And throwing a little, underspin, and I went, thump. And I went, oh
Uh-oh.
crap, because
Hold on.
he took off, and I thought I was gonna lose. It was through grass. I had like 40 pounds of grass on this like
Mm-hmm.
big nasty bull,
And what rod were you throwing?
and I was throwing a medium light
Oh my God.
Yeah.
or medium casting rod, and I mean I was like, I'm gonna either break this rod, the fish is gonna snap off, or I'm
All
going
of the
in.
above.
I'm going in the water with him.
Yeah. Correct.
It's great. It is
It's
a lot of
fun though, man. It is just a little bit. I
It's a
do
different world.
It's a different world.
Yeah.
You're right. It's exact. I see why it's gained so much popularity, through the years, because it absolutely exploded here in Louisiana.
Yeah,
at one
100.
point. So
I think it's a lot to do with access in Louisiana.
yeah,
I
that
think
too.
the access here. I mean, you have so much. Well, I mean, just look at Highway 1 down towards Fouchon.
Anywhere
Grand
down
Island.
Highway 1, drop in.
You
somewhere.
can launch a kayak and catch redfish and trout everywhere alongside the river.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter where you stop.
I have. That whole area is like that.
So if you're listening and you're not from Louisiana, guys, you've been want to take that trip down to Louisiana to come down and do some fishing, hit us up, man. Hit us up. Hit these guys up
Yeah,
and Ride Outdoors, and they would be more than happy to help you guys. And trust me, they're the ones that you want to talk to because they have the hours in the marshes down here. That when it comes to the South Louisiana coastline, these guys are the guys you want to talk to. So
We're not scared to
help.
share it.
Yeah.
No.
Our messages are always open, and we will tell you everything down to the bait. It's just to get you out there and enjoy it. That brings me happiness to get somebody else on a big old redfish. Oh man, you told me to do this, and look what I got. And that's awesome.
That's
It's
awesome.
an awesome feeling.
That's awesome to
It
hear
is.
that too, man. Well, okay, guys. So as we come in to close out the show, where can people? They can also go scout you guys out on YouTube, Instagram.
Yeah.
You can check out a lot of y'all fishing videos as well. But where can they find y'all? Let everybody know where's the best place to find you.
So
on
we
social
have
media.
YouTube, Instagram. We're kind of dabbling in. We've both got our personal Instagrams that you're welcome to follow along. You can find them on probably any of our Ride Outdoor pages. Most of us are tagged in it.
Yeah.
Facebook and YouTube are like our main
Top two for
top
sure.
two right
Yeah.
now.
Okay, and it's under Ride Outdoors.
Ride
correct?
Ride Outdoors,
Yep.
and it's a picture of two guys holding fish with Ride Outdoors in the back.
That's
Okay.
us. Yeah, no, when you search it comes right
Yeah,
up.
it's-
Yeah,
it's
YouTube
the
and
top.
Yeah, y'all out
so-
there, a lot of popularity, a lot of steam with all the stuff y'all doing.
Yep.
So that's good, man. You guys are a lot more easy to find than some of the other stuff out there. So congratulations. First of all, as I want to thank you so much for being on the show this week and taking the time to sit down and talk to us. I know we thought it went pretty quickly, but thank y'all so much. I appreciate what you guys do for outdoorsmen in general, specifically outdoorsmen here in Louisiana. And I'm glad to call you guys friends of mine. I hope we get to hook up, take some fishing trips soon, and also this hunting season, I'd like to hook up with you guys.
Oh,
Let's do some
absolutely.
stuff
That's
too.
happening.
Definitely, yeah. Let's
That's
make it happen.
happening. We've been talking about it for a
I know
while.
we need it. We're gonna do it this year. We're gonna make it happen this year. Hopefully, we got enough water where I can take y'all to a few spots we can get to.
Yeah.
and we could get on some ducks and kill some ducks this year. But guys, thank y'all so much once again. And guys, thank you all for as well listening to this week's episode. I hope y'all enjoyed sitting down with Taylor and Grant from Ride Outdoors. And don't forget to check them out on all their social media platforms. You can also visit us on all the social media platforms at Last Stop Waterfowl Outdoors. And don't forget to support and check out all the great sponsors that you guys are hearing on this episode. But that's all we got for y'all this week. And until next time, this is Jacob, Last Stop Waterfowl Outdoors. We'll talk to y'all again soon, guys. Take care.